Welcome to Koh Chang, guys, an absolutely beautiful island. We're going to show you around the island today, what it's got to offer, all the beaches, look at some waterfalls and the viewpoints in this amazing island. If you haven't heard of it, this is off Trad province, about 45 minutes by ferry, and it's an absolutely wonderful place to come. We'll also look at the pros and cons of living here as a retiree. There's a lot of people that are thinking about coming to a quieter life out in somewhere like this, you know, absolute, I think, paradise, guys. But is it paradise for a retiree? There are beaches like this all over Koh Chang, guys. I mean, you can take your pick. The first one you come to is White Sandy Beach. That's kind of a very touristy one you go to when you very first come, you know, from the pier. Probably takes about 10 minutes to get there, guys. And then some of the, I think, better beaches as you go further along the coast. And we've visited many, and to be honest, all of them are really, really beautiful. They're just, some of them are a little bit nicer than some of the other ones. Some of them are quite tricky to get down. You got to go down a big, like, steep hill to get down to some of them. But once you get down there, it's worth the hassle of going down the steep hill. If you're on a motorbike, be careful as always. We are visiting one of the waterfalls today. It's not far from our resort, actually only about a couple of kilometers. I'll just show you now on the screen. This is the name. It's fantastic. I've been here before, to be honest, a few years ago. It's a lovely walk to the waterfall. It's a little bit uphill, so a little bit hiking, as you can see on the video now. So just, you know, maybe not wear flip-flops like all my family have. I wore trainers. And now it's, you know, beginning of October, so have a lot of rain that's fallen over the last few months. So the waterfall and the water is really high level, so it looks really nice this time of year. The price for foreigners, which most of you will be interested in, was 200 baht to get into this park here, this waterfall. For the kids, obviously, they're all Thai, so it's a lot cheaper. And the car was 30 baht as well to get in, to park the car. But I think great value for, you know, coming to somewhere like this is awesome. There's a lot of tree roots around, so it's a bit slippy. You put this rope down all along, actually, so you can grip onto that, guys. Sorry if it's a bit noisy. We're coming up to the waterfall now. Whoa, look at that. Absolutely awesome. Right, stop. Oh, I just took right at the top there, and it's a little bit dangerous there. The rangers up there won't let you swim, so because it's still beginning of August, it's like proper, quite big rapids, as you can see, like quite powerful. So you have to swim just a bit further down here. I'll show you now on the video a better area. Oh, guys, if you get the chance, don't miss out on this waterfall in Koh Chang. It's absolutely amazing. See, look at the water now, crystal clear, and the guys are swimming down here now. Take a look, absolutely lovely. Absolutely beautiful area. There's no one here. A bit of a secret insider tip: come here, you know, pretty early in the morning. We came here at 10 o'clock and there's literally no one here still now, and it's about 11:30. No one's here, literally here alone. It's great. I think a few people will come up later on. I think because it was a little bit cloudy this morning, but now the weather's starting to pick up. You see the water here, it's super clear. You can see the fish in the water as well, straight through the water. What a lovely place. Oh, come on, don't touch it. Literally don't touch it, mate. Oh, it's not too cold. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, maybe jump on the big block. Jump on the big block. Yeah. Oh, okay. Stop the camera, man. I don't want to do it. We're at one of the many viewpoints in Koh Chang. These are all over Koh Chang. You can just drive to them. Better on a motorbike, but we're in the truck. And they're absolutely gorgeous, as you can see here. Oh, just beautiful spot. Say, it's a lovely island to drive around, but you've got to be really careful on the roads. You know, the roads do are very, very steep, so just be very careful, especially if you're on a motorbike. If you're on a motorbike, I recommend, you know, really test out the brakes before you hire the motorbike or the car, you know, because some of the banks are very, very steep. So just make sure you take it very steady driving around the island, guys. It's a great island to drive around, but, you know, just be careful. Another thing to think about as well is, you know, don't drink and drive on the island. You might think it's very... Hey, boys. Don't drink and drive on the island, because there was like 2 or 3 different police checks. I know it's quite tempting just to have a beer or 2 and drive your motorbike, but trust me, it's not worth it, guys. Just get a taxi. This is our Thai house number 1, so this is where we're staying. It's like 2-bedroom, like little Thai style house, really beautiful. Inside, take a look. Yeah, a lovely, lovely little place to stay. I'll put the price on the screen now, how much this cost us, but very much Thai style, so nice to stay in somewhere like this when you're in Thailand. You can check out absolutely beautiful pool area here, guys. Bit of a jacuzzi over there as well, guys, to chill out in. It's a lovely resort. Let's just walk through a little bit. It's very, very big as well, not a small place. Just walking around last night, it's absolutely huge. The resort garden areas are absolutely beautiful. Just take a look at them as I'm walking through them now. I think they have to have really nice gardens in this resort because, you know, we are away from the beach a little bit. Place here, guys, where you can get traditional Thai massage. I'll put the prices on the screens for you. It's a nice area. Not open at the moment, obviously early morning. Yeah, you can get your Thai massage here if you fancy a bit of massage. I kind of think because I've been living in Thailand so long, I like an oil massage now and again, but yeah, I'm pretty much, I don't know, I think I've overdone the massages over the years, and sometimes I'm like, okay, enough massaging. Or it's a bit rainy today. Look, the weather's a bit rainy. This is beginning of October, so the weather's a bit, yeah, it's been middling since we've been here actually. I say we're only staying here a couple of nights, not too long, but we are coming to the end of the rainy season, so it should be, you know, a lot better now. Yesterday was really sunny, so that's good, but yeah, if you're coming to Koh Chang in this time, then yeah, you know, expect a little bit of rain still for sure. I mean, the height of the rainy season here is horrendous. There's so much rain, it's unbelievable. Like if you come here in July, August, September, a lot of rain. So I've been here before, and windy, and yeah, quite different actually. I think one of the big things to think about is, you know, do you want to live on an actual island? You know, you can feel quite isolated, I think, when you're living on, you know, an island like this. You know, it takes about 45 to 50 minutes to get across on the ferry. So if you know you needed to get off the island pretty quick, I mean, there are regular ferries that go off the island every hour or so. But, you know, if you suddenly wanted to go overnight to get off the island quick in an emergency, you couldn't really get off because obviously there's not an airport in Koh Chang at the moment. They're looking at building a bridge over from the mainland over to Koh Chang, but I think at the moment, you know, that's not happening. Until that actually happens, then you can't say that. And obviously there's not an airport on Koh Chang at the moment like there is down in Koh Samui, where some other people look at retiring, guys. Another thing to think about is like hospitals, you know, are there any hospitals on Koh Chang? Well, there's one international hospital I drove past the other day, which is a development actually, because, you know, many years ago there wasn't like really a decent hospital on here, but that looks okay now. It says international hospital. I don't know how international it is, if it's a really proper one. I think that's a good option, and, you know, makes it a bit better. But for emergency treatment, you know, you're gonna have to get off the island probably. We also drove past an immigration office, so they have got an immigration office, which is, it's important because, you know, doing the visa is an important part of living in Thailand, guys. So yeah, me and my missus both spotted the immigration office in the center of Koh Chang, guys. This area has a hell of a lot of rainfall. You know, if you come in the months of July, August, September, then you know it's one of the highest rainfalls in the country in this area, guys. So it's something to consider if you're coming here for a holiday or you're coming here to retire. There is a lot of rain that falls in Koh Chang throughout the year. That's why it's so beautiful, you know, rainforest everywhere, and you know the trees look amazing now. We're like middle of October now, and it looks absolutely beautiful. But it's something to consider, guys. And there's definitely, you know, seasonal change here. You know, there's mass tourism in, like, oh, I wouldn't say mass tourism, but there's a lot more tourists come, you know, during the high season here. It would be very busy, so it might get annoying if you lived here full time. But you know, during the wet season it could be pretty miserable at times, I think, with the rainfall. I mean, it is very heavy rainfall over here in August especially. I remember coming here once, I stayed here for a week, and oh my god, it was windy and rainy. And yeah, it is something to think about, guys. I mean, this happens all over Thailand, but especially in, you know, this area. Can you do me a massive favor? I don't ask much, just please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out. Thanks. Just press the red button. Thanks. And back to the video. Koh Chang, which literally means Elephant Island, is a lush, mountainous island in the Gulf of Thailand, just sitting off the coast of Trad province near the Cambodian border. It's the third largest island in Thailand after Phuket and Koh Samui. But it also feels less developed, with much of the interior still covered by thick jungle, steep ridges and hidden waterfalls. Koh Chang is part of the Koh Chang National Marine Park, surrounded by smaller islands, coral reefs and protected water. For anyone visiting or even thinking about living here as an expat or retiree, Koh Chang offers a unique blend of wild nature, laid-back living and enough modern conveniences to make life comfortable, though not without its challenges. To get here, you usually start with a flight to Trad Airport, served mostly by Bangkok Airways. From there, it's a short road transfer to the ferry piers, where ferry crossings to Koh Chang, you know, go about every half an hour to an hour. I think mostly it's about an hour, depending on the season. The crossing takes roughly about 50 minutes, and once you arrive, you find the island's main road winds dramatically along the western coastline. There's no airport on the island itself, and travel times can be longer than you might expect because of the hilly terrain and sharp curves on the road. Most people get around by renting motorbikes, hopping into shared songthaos, pick-up taxis, or arranging private transfers. It's a good idea to drive very carefully. The roads can be steep and slippery, especially in the rainy season. Most of the action happens on the west coast, where the beaches and resorts are concentrated. White Sandy Beach, or Hat Sai Khao, is the main tourist hub. It's the busiest stretch of sand on the island, with plenty of hotels, restaurants, supermarkets and bars there. It's where you'll find most of the infrastructure on the island, and it's a great place to base yourself if you want to be close to everything. Further south is Khlong Phlu Beach, and nearby is Khlong Phlu, more relaxing areas, great for families or retirees who prefer something quieter but still within reach of shops and restaurants. You'll also find this waterfall nearby, one of the easiest to access on the island, surrounded by rainforest and swimming pools where locals and tourists cool off. Right along at the end of the island is Lonely Beach, one of the backpacker hangouts, now a mix of budget and trendy boutique shops. It has a lively vibe at night with beach bars and music. The island still remains a natural feel, with monkeys in the trees, colourful birds and even the occasional monitor lizard wandering through the garden resort. When it comes to living here long term, let's talk about housing and costs. I think to get a basic local style bungalow or studio, they'll start around about 8,000 to about 15,000 baht per month. Obviously larger houses or beachfront properties can easily go up to a hell of a lot of money, you know, compared to that, depending on the view, you know, the location and the amenities around it. Prices drop obviously during the rainy season, so you can negotiate at this time of year. I think for overall cost of living, you know, a single person living a simple life out there live on something between 40 and 70,000 baht per month. You know, there is good internet on the island like there is throughout the whole of Thailand, but there will be some big storms there at times, so the internet could cut off due to them reasons. There's, you know, basic shopping there. I noticed there's a macro, basic supermarkets there, pharmacies, ATMs. So you'll be able to find some of your Western goods there. There was definitely a couple of Western pubs. We went to this one, this was 15 Palms, and we had a Sunday roast there, which was phenomenal, very, very nice. And yeah, I'll put the price, how much it was, on the screen here. So there are some kind of Western pubs you can go to on the island. I think it's not perfect for the retiree because, you know, it is very isolated and peaceful, which means it's less convenient. You know, the road network is definitely limited on the island. Public transport is basic. You need your own public transport there. I think it's essential. You know, driving can be challenging on them roads for sure. For anybody with mobility issues, you know, walking around is going to be tricky up some of them hills. You know, power cuts, water shortages can happen during some of the dry season. Healthcare, as we talked about before, is limited locally. During the rainy season, normally, you know, rainy season is something from like June to October, something like this. You know, the weather is very, very unpredictable. You know, some of the roads might flood. You know, a lot of the tourist businesses may be closed or run very limited hours or something like this. Which I think during them months, it might be tricky to live there, guys. I think English is widely spoken everywhere because it's very touristy there. But if you know, go to a very isolated part on the island, then it's going to be a bit less. So if you go where the tourists go, basically, you know, everyone's going to speak English a lot better. There's no kind of really big shopping malls I didn't see on the island. If there is, put it in the comments. If I've missed one, I didn't see any on the island. They had a big macro, I noticed, but all the other ones were just little supermarkets. You know, there's no cinemas, there's no kind of cultural venues there. If you're living there long term, you know, after so many months there, you might miss the conveniences, you know, maybe of a big city or some of the things that happen in the city that you might miss. Okay, if you're thinking about retiring here, some practical advice, make sure you get good private health insurance, you know, it's absolutely essential. You know, you should go and visit the island both in the low season and the high season. I think it's a very different island between the two seasons. Just go for short periods of time to go and check it out. You know, I've always absolutely loved my time in Koh Chang, but I've only ever been there as a tourist for 1 week, 2 weeks. To stay there long term, I just don't know what it would be like, you know, how it would feel to live there long term on an island. I think some of the cons, you know, it's limited infrastructure. You know, you're a long distance from any major cities, so, you know, even if you get off the island, you've got a hell of a drive. I suppose Trad, you've got a city, which is quite a big city you can go to, but, you know, back to Pattaya or Bangkok is quite a big drive. You know, back to Bangkok is like 5-6 hours, depends how fast you drive. I think Koh Chang offers a slower, more natural way of life thing that's getting harder to find in Thailand in more developed, you know, islands like Koh Samui for sure. If you're dreaming of tropical retirement surrounded by nature, I think it's a bit of a hidden gem, Koh Chang, and I think it's absolutely awesome for holidays, but I'm just not convinced about, you know, living there permanently as a retiree. I think it's completely on the individual what you want and what you're looking for, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Can you do me a massive favor? I don't ask much, just please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out. Thanks. Just press the red button. Thanks. And back to the video.